The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Tottenham Away. It's Friday night and we're live. Good to have you all here. I hope everyone is doing well. I don't know where anyone else is at the moment. I think Iggy is out with the family in central London somewhere. JP, I think he's coming later on. And I'm sure others will come as we get going. But anyway, you're all here. Let me big you all up one by one and say hello to everyone as always. Ariel, how you doing? I hope you're well. Good to see you again. I've had enough of Cess, always injured. And he plays rubbish, yeah. I agree. Big up, Tony. How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well, Tony. Big up to Rob Ayres in the house. Big up to Rob Ayres. LA 007 busting the purple and gold Levy out banner. I'm loving that. William, how you doing? Member of the channel. Hope you're doing well, William. Big up. We've got Tom Thacker in the house. How you doing, Tom? Antonio, long time. How you doing? Louis, hope you're doing well. El Saeed, big up to you. We've got Amit Kumar. Big up to Amit. I hope there are Levy out chants in the stadium again tomorrow. Let's hope so. We've got Robert Bullmore. Big up to Robert. Seb, regular. How you doing, Seb? Hope you're doing well. And we've got Ron. My name is Jeff. It says Ron. It does say Ron. We've got Sleo. What is that picture? Oh, it's a cockerel. JJ, oi, oi. How you doing, my man? We've got Mario in the house as well. Big up to Mario. Hope you're doing good. David P in the house. Big up Don Stelios, a man with respect, humility, integrity, who does what he wants from a place of love and sincerity. I do my best, my man. I really do. Sleo, again, it's you. How you doing, my man? Another channel member, Language Angels. Big up. Hope you're well. Jason Stops in the house. Big up. And Johnny from Bethnal Green, Stroke Kent. How you doing? Lord of Akka. How you doing? Hi, Stella and Tottenham Away boys. Looking forward to the stream. We'll try and get to the protest. Also doing my own little bit to help our cause. That's it, man. That's all we can do. Do the best you can for your little corner of the world. Stuart says, hey, Stella, you look low res, but maybe it's my connection. No, it's probably my connection, bro. My internet where I live is pretty bad, but I'm moving in 6 months' time, so hopefully I'll get better internet connection then. LA 007, my name is Jeff. Is this a game that I don't know about? If it is, can someone get me up to speed? Big up to Mary again. What's the point, FC? Also busting the purple and gold. Boom, limited budget FC. Incoming summer transfer bullshit PR. I'll tell you what. If we don't get Europa Cup, I don't know what the budget's going to look like. It's going to be a very, very dodgy one, that's for sure. But we've got 75 people in the house. Please like, subscribe, and follow the channel. I'm going to get into it. Let's go. First things first. We need to give a massive well done and a huge big up to the under 18s who under 17 stroke 18s who yesterday won the Premier League Cup for the under 17s and under 18s. Brilliant stuff from the youngsters there, winning some silverware for the academy. You can see them all there, happy, celebrating, selfies. There's the full squad. There's the trophy. Great job, guys. Honestly, well done. Big up to the youth. Love to see our youngsters doing well. It's just what we want, right? It's what we want. It's quite funny because a couple of jokes came out straight away. This one I saw on Facebook. Tottenham have sacked the entire under-18s team and coaching staff after they won the under-18 Premier League Cup. Daniel Levy said they don't have the Tottenham DNA. You got to laugh. You got to laugh, right? This one as well was quite funny. I put it on our Facebook, on our Tottenham Away YouTube page. It's a three-headed dragon, the under-17s, under-18s, and the wacky one that doesn't know what he's doing. That's the starting 11 we've currently got. Pure banter, pure banter. Guys, also, for some of you who may have known, who might have been aware, thank you for your birthday shouts yesterday. Big up to all you guys. Just want to say a big thank you to every single one of you who reached out to me and said happy birthday. Much appreciated. And on the same day as my birthday, you couldn't write it. On the 4th of May, what else happened? Spurs win the under-18-17 Premier Cup. But also, Forza Napoli. Napoli won Serie A. Unbelievable. Their 3rd Scudetto in their lifetime. 30 years since the last one when Diego Maradona was part of the team that won the last Serie A title for Napoli. So scenes, absolute scenes in Naples. I tell you, they were going crazy over there. Absolutely insane. There was videos of like fireworks going off all over the city. Like almost every neighborhood, every garden, every house was launching fireworks. And imagine on the weekend when they play at home, the scenes that you're going to see in the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium in Napoli. It's going to be absolutely insane. Let's just do a few more chats. Great stuff. The first team should know. I know. Imagine the first team could be as good as our kids. Oh, we can only dream. I believe if Diet is sold, it will be to an English club. Who cares where he goes, man? Let's just get him out. Our under 18s played some beautiful stuff. Do you know what? There's a couple of players. That potentially we could look to bring into that first team next season if we get the right manager, if we get the right director of football, if we do anything right, which we normally don't. So I'm not holding my breath, that's for sure. Big up to the youth. Yeah, big up to the youth. Big up to the youth. Get them signed to the seniors. Yeah, man. I agree, dude. I really agree. Do you think the training centre is finally having an impact on the academy, or is it just a phase of good players? I think it's a bit of both, if I'm honest with you. The academy's always been good. I've always said we are producing good players, but the player pathway at Tottenham is not good because we've gone for the win now, and there's too much pressure on the manager to bring through a youngster and develop them in that process. Wrong time, wrong place, I would say. But maybe now is the time. We're going to find out. Big up, Stel. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you, whenever in the chat he says, I'm here as always. Great for the academy. Brilliant for the academy. Congratulations to Ndombele. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. Oh, my God. He left Tottenham and he's won a league title. We're cursed, man. We're absolutely cursed. I swear to God, we're cursed. How the fuck has Ndombele won a league title? The closest Spurs will come to winning a trophy under Levy. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, conceal your birthday wishes, guys. Big up Napoli. Absolutely. Thank you to the birthday wishes to you all, one and all. Lots of love. Big up, Mehmet. How you doing? Big up to Harrison as well. I'm not there tomorrow, Sammy. Unfortunately, I'm working, and I won't get out of work until it's too late. So I'm not going to be anywhere near Tottenham tomorrow. Nothing I can do about it. To think Maradona was almost a Spurs player. We ended up with Jurgen, who was just as good, but what could have been, man? Oh, we could say that about Jack Grealish, about Maddison, about Dybala. The list goes on. The list absolutely goes on. Big up to Graham in the house. How you doing, Graham? Hope you are well. Big up to the panel. One love, my man. One love. Luca 14, how you doing? Big up, belated birthday. Thank you, my man. Big up. Robster's in the house. Big up. How you doing? At least the youngsters have done us proud, exactly. At least they're doing something, right? Not only has Ndombele left us and won a league title, Levy is paying half of his wages. Oh, my God, we paid. We paid for him to win the league elsewhere. We actually paid for Ndombele to win the league elsewhere. Pow. You're in the mud. Ndombele just shows you medals aren't everything. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. When am I going to see Tottenham win a trophy? Mate, when Levy's gone. when Levy's gone. Hazard, yeah. Yeah. What about Willian? Do you remember Willian? He came to Tottenham, did a medical. They went across London to Chelsea and signed for them. They used us to do the medical. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. In the Mud FC, I tell you. In the Mud FC. Who we got here? Hotspur 82. How you doing? Big up to yourself. Brian Hill will be the next Spurs winner with Seville. Oh, don't. Whoa. Imagine Lamela. Lamela's gone there as well. Hotspur. Lamela. We have to be in the top 5 dumbest clubs. Maybe in the top 3. Maybe in the top 3. Yeah. Got Spurs 72. Happy birthday. Big up to you. Loving the purple and gold ball. I actually rated Ndombele on. Yeah, me too. Me too. So, we've done the birthday shout-outs. We've bigged up the under 17s and 18s and Napoli. There's a few things I want to get into tonight with you guys. The first one is, what do you make? What do you make of the ex-Spurs scout, David Webb, when he was interviewed on TalkSport? Now, it was quite damning, I felt, towards Daniel Levy. And it exposed what a lot of fans have been talking about, how he meddles too much in transfers, or the fact he even meddles in football, that, you know, it's a subject he doesn't know anything about. He knows about business, not football. And Simon Jordan was a bit taken back by it, I felt. Now, for those of you that haven't seen it, if you go onto TalkSport and type in David Webb, you'll see that they've got the video up there on YouTube. This breaks it down a little bit. So, former head of elite identification and development, by the way, that's a posh way of saying scout, David Webb spoke about Daniel Levy. If Daniel Levy ever said no to certain signings, he was asked about whether Levy ever said no to any signings that David Webb and the scouting team had lined up for the club. And his answer, the ex-scout said, yes, there were cases when I was at Spurs, we had players in the building that we should have potentially signed that would have helped Pochettino at the time. They didn't go through due to various aspects. He went on to say, there were questions being raised that sometimes if we had acquired that player at that certain time, it would have steered Tottenham in a different direction. Well, we know what direction we went in. It was a trophyless one. And we know what direction Liverpool went in under Pochettino. They bought Alisson and Van Dijk and they won everything. People, what do you make of that interview? What do you make of those words? There were players in the building. That means they were ready to sign, ready to go. It's all been lined up. But for whatever reason, was it a last-minute change to the contract? Was it Levy haggling for a few million? Did the player have a change of heart? Were we being used to try and force a signature at another club? Was Daniel Levy not happy with the criteria of the player? Was Daniel Levy wanting more out of the deal? What do you make of it, guys? What's your take on it? Tell me what you think. Do you think it's all true? Do you think it's all lies? For once, Simon Jordan was lost for words. Yeah, I know. He was thrown back by it, right? Simon Jordan is on Levy's payroll. Well, it feels that way. He actually, do you know what? Simon Jordan actually talks about that quite a lot. He actually sits there on the show and says, I'm going to get accused of this. I'm going to get accused of that, to do with his relationship with Daniel Levy. So even he knows. I think Webb held back a bit too. I agree with you, Mario. I absolutely agree. I think he held back as well. I think he was being very diplomatic. Me too, man. Because he's got to think about his career. If he's seen as a blabbermouth and someone that shits on a club, maybe another club won't touch him, right? So he had to play the game. Stuart says, the players we've missed out on, man, because of Levy. Oh, don't. Still, is there anyone that you would like to see come in as our new sporting director? Yeah, Ralph Rangnick. I know he did a terrible job at Man United as a manager, But Ralph Rangnick is a good football director. In fact, let me tell you something. I've actually got his email address, and I've emailed him, and I'm going to try and get some kind of podcast, YouTube show, or even some information from Ralph Rangnick about what Spurs need to do. And the reason I know him is because one of my coaches was on a recent coaching course, and at the coaching course, Ralph Rangnick was one of the guests. So they got to spend time with Ralph Rangnick, and he asked him questions. And listen to this. Check this out. One of the questions he asked him, because I asked my coach, can you please ask Ralph this question? Because I think Ralph Rangnick is a very good sporting director. He knows how to structure clubs. He knows how to build the football side of the club. And his track record is very, very good. He's an intelligent man. I don't think managing and coaching is where his skill set is at, if I'm honest with you. He knows about it, but that's not his strength. Anyway, I asked through my coach to Ralph Rangnick. We're going back a year or two ago. So this is before any links to Tottenham and whatnot. I asked, what do you make of Daniel Levy at Tottenham? And Ralph Rangnick said, he's not a football guy. How can you put a football guy in charge? Sorry, someone that's not a football guy in charge. And the analogy he gave, these are his words now. This is Ralph Rangnick's words. If you had someone who's a really good basketball coach or a basketball manager or a basketball sporting director or a basketball chairman, and their specialist skill is basketball and they love basketball, it's their passion, you wouldn't put them in charge of football because they don't love football. They don't have a passion for it. They don't have the knowledge for it. And that's basically what Daniel Levy is. Daniel Levy is a property developer. He's an entrepreneur. What does he really know about football? Developing players, building successful winning teams, footballing structures, developing players for the academy, tactics, formation, strategy, health and fitness. What does he know? He doesn't. It's not his love. His love is property. His passion is making money. And he's really good at it. So when you've got him overseeing the football stuff, you're screwed. And that's what Ralph Rangnick pretty much said without the word screwed. He said, you need people that love football, live, eat, breathe, hungry for football. They need to be in charge of football. And at Tottenham, we don't have that. We've never really had it at the high level. So you could say, well, how many clubs have really got that? Well, if you look at Arsenal recently, who's in charge of the player recruitment and helping to build the team at Arsenal? Edu. He's a football hero to Arsenal. Ex-Brazilian international. He's won everything, that guy. He's a football man. They've put a proper football man in charge. What's Paratici ever done in the game? Football people. You need football people. And this is what Ralph Rangnick said. So there you go. So to answer your question, BB, I would like Ralph Rangnick, but not if Daniel Levy is involved, because he'll screw us over again. I don't want that. Simon Jordan is on the payroll. Absolutely mad. Levy's like the guy in Foxcatcher. If you've seen that, yeah, I've seen that film. Remember, we were supposed to be Real Madrid's nursing team. Yeah. That lasted, what, 2 minutes? Do you reckon Levy sent hitmen to David Redd's house? I hope not. Thing is, still, even if you showed the hardcore Levy fans, they will still be behind him because he has transformed us off the pitch. And that's exactly what Ralph Rangnick said. He's not a football guy. You need football people to do the football stuff, right? Simon Jordan is 100% on payroll. Yeah, it does look. We've got no evidence to prove it, but it does feel that way. Wild, seeing people still calling Pochettino failure after taking this club to new heights despite not even being given the players or budget. I agree. Questions. He meant Levy's obstacles, a spanner in the works. That's exactly what he meant. Nothing he said was surprising. We knew this beforehand, and it is only the apologists that denied it. Spot on, Scott M. Spot on. Apocalypse now says, good evening, Stel. And I say, good evening to you, my man. Robez, problem, the wage demand, Stel. Listen, there's no doubt that wage demands will be an issue. But this is what I'll say to those people that use wage demands as not an excuse, but a reason. Tottenham Hotspur generate double the turnover of Leicester City and West Ham. Yet our wage bill is almost the same as them two. How can that be? How can we earn double the amount of money Leicester and West Ham generate, yet our wage bill is approximately the same? Now, that was a year or two ago, so don't quote me if that's the same now, but back then is when those signings happened, right? So, I don't know, man. Things don't add up to me. I think the interview is true. He said it was down to Levy and Capelhorn to execute over the Lions, and they failed. Of course they failed. Of course they failed. They're not football people. Big up, Stel. That was just confirmation of what we already knew. Yep. Yep, 100% true. Webb's comment 100% true. Everyone agrees with what Webb says. Egg on Simon's face. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I think we should be nice to Levy, as it can be hard not knowing what you are doing. When you flush your brains down the toilet each... Very good. Truth. Levy doesn't want a high budget, high expectation club. He wants a limited budget club. Yeah. In the Mud FC. In the Mud FC. I think Levy tries always to make a last minute change the way. He always seems to make last minute changes, this guy. But not always, but quite often. I think Daniel told we could buy these players in 9,909 stuff. Cullen needs a dishonourable mention along. Oh, don't even start with Donna Cullen. My God. Big up, Rich. How you doing? Oh, man. Listen, I hope Everton stay up for your sake, bro. I hope Everton stay up. Ragniak quality. Mate, he is. Stuart, he's good. I know people that know him, mate. I'm telling you. He's the real deal. But he's got to be allowed to do the job. See, when he structured the RB Leipzig group, he was given a lot of autonomy and a lot of freedom to do his job. At Tottenham, already he's going to report to this Scott Mundell, who is he? You know? Doesn't make sense. Hate Ali Gold until the club is sold. It's a bit harsh, George, but you're allowed your opinion. Big up, Still. Great show as usual. Big up to you as well, my man. Where are we now is exactly where Enoch wants us. Yep, 5th or 6th. Well, I think they want us in the Champions League, actually, because that's where the money is, right? He scouted Kimmich for 500k. Jesus Christ. Ragniak is a yes-man manager, and a yes-man manager doomed to fund it. I don't think he's a yes-man, Vaporware. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Dreadful coach, but A-tier DOF. Spot on. Spot on. Don't forget, he was one of the mentors for Jurgen Klopp when he was in Germany, right? Ralph Ragniak and Nagelsmann. Listen, that would be a fantastic combination. But this only works, guys, and I've got to stress this. And you know this already. You don't even need me to tell you. You know. This only works if the transfers are fully in the control of Ragniak and Nagelsmann. No Jed Spence club signing. No long gap, stop gap. No Danjuma gap. No 65 million wasted on Richarlison. None of this rubbish. And if they want to get rid of players, doesn't matter who they are, they've got to be allowed to get rid of them. It has to be that way. Otherwise, yeah, we're just going to fall even further behind the competition. But you know this already. You don't need me to tell you. If we got Ragniak and Levy gave him a decent and realistic budget and fully left him alone to buy, sell whoever he wants, let him build, we might actually get some. I agree. But Levy won't. And I agree with that as well. Fucking problem. Fucking problem. He's now odds on 43s, 100s. Okay, they're the odds to get. Is that for Ragniak? Is this for Ragniak or for Nagelsmann, or is it for both? Let me know. Hi, Darren Ron again. Daniel Levy's no Jeff. He's a 5-foot dork who acts like he owns everything. Levy out, man. Levy out. We're linked with Jonas Spurs as well. Oh, I don't know who that is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know who that is. First, Levy doesn't pay high-wage skilled players, even if they're on a free. We have increased the wage bill slightly, but it's relative to turnover. It doesn't make sense. New name floating about. Regards, sporting director Jonas Spor. Check him out. Worked at Hoffenheim and Leipzig. If he's worked at Leipzig and Hoffenheim, same time as Nagelsmann. I'll tell you what, Nagelsmann did good at Hoffenheim. could be a shout. Again, it's going to be down to who gets given control and autonomy to do the job. Levy and Munn went to Germany to commission a statue of Harry Kane. Big up the Stoner Minerals. Let's have it right. Mud in the wrong ends. Brown envelopes. A long way from Epstein. Too funny. Guys, too funny, man. I think it's more to do with where sports come from now. Says from groups of man and multi-utility to sport. It's all a guessing game, isn't it? We don't know. Ragnar would be a great director of football. He has shown he can do it, but Levy won't give him the freedom. Scott, you know, we all know this, man. I can't agree with you anymore. This is the problem. This is the freaking problem. Daniel bloody Levy. Shithousery chairman. Remember, people, join the protest. Leave Lee Enoch out every single day of the week, my man. Still, my brother, where is everyone? I don't know. On my own tonight. I'm going solo. I feel like every Spurs manager left out, hung out to dry on my own, trying to steer the ship, and we're sinking. We're going down. I don't know, D-boy. Scott M. Ralph isn't a yes man. Yes, I agree. Top 6 wage bill, 25 versus 200 million of Spurs. Mate, this is my point. We've got double the turnover, double the income of West Ham and Leicester, yet our wage bill is almost the same. It doesn't make sense. It can't be right. Minerals FC has too many options to come here. Well, I think this is the thing with Nagelsmann. Well, actually, Scott M. Does Nagelsmann have loads of options? Because if you think of all the big clubs, haven't they all got managers? The only one that maybe will change manager in the summer is Real Madrid. Man United have got Ten Hag, Arsenal have got Arteta, Pep's at City, Klopp's at Liverpool, Eddie Howe's probably going to stay at Newcastle, Chelsea. The Poch deal hasn't been done yet, has it? So, sorry guys, someone's just messaging me to come on the show, so I'm just sending them the link. Has he got more options? Does Nagelsmann actually have more options? I'm not sure that he does. Bear with me, guys. I'm just sending a quick message to someone to come and jump on. Let's see if this even works. Still, is the director of football the manager's boss, or should they be working together? They should be working together. There's only one boss, and that's the owner, Joe Lewis. He's the boss, and he gives a lot of the control over to Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy is probably the main boss who's actually present at the club on a regular basis. It's fair to say that the only boss at Spurs is Daniel Levy at the moment. We have the financial power to compete with City, but we lack the person at the top to install winning formula. Yep. Football people, man. Football people. Paul Poch, said sometimes he's the manager, sometimes he's the coach. Another manager that comes out with cryptic conversation because he can't speak because he got a DNA. Not a DNA. My God. A disclosure agreement in his contract. Donna Cunningham's a big reason for this shit. She's part of the problem. 100%, Tony. Him and Julian Nagelsmann together, that'd be great. Guys, let me ask you something, actually. I'm just bringing Michael. Big up, Michael. You all right, my man? You're on mute, bro. You're on mute. No problem. Great show, Stell. Thank you, my man. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. It's only the start of it. So, Michael, just to bring you up to speed, my man.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I just went through some of the things David Webb, the ex-scout, said on Talk Sport the other night. And I'm asking everyone, do you believe it's true? And everyone's saying, yeah, look, we think it's real, man. We do think he meant what he said. And they actually think he was holding back. And he wasn't saying everything that he really wanted to say for obvious reasons. But what do you make of it, Michael? Do you think it's true? Do you think he's trying to tell us, listen, man, this Levy guy, he's a problem?
Yeah, like with all the media attention around, the ownership of Tottenham, people will start coming out because they kind of feel validated to say things that they know, right? Because listen, if everything was going perfect, right, and you suddenly came out and started blasting the ownership, like, it doesn't really sound credible, right? But now, all of his decisions are getting put into doubts, right? So people will come out and add fuel to the fire, right? So I'm happy he done that, right? I will be happy with every single person pointing out his mistakes, right? Because it needs to be done, right? I'm sick and tired of Simon Jordan sitting on Talksport and whitewashing whatever Levy has done, right? He's done like many bad things to steal this club towards greatness, right? And I'm happy that someone is there, pointing out that, hey, listen, like it's not all rosy as you think, right?
Michael, there was another video that came out the next day on Talksport, and on the video, Simon Jordan said that Daniel Levy spoke with him the next day. And he said that Daniel Levy wasn't happy with what was said. He wasn't happy with the interview. And he also said that David Webb wasn't telling the truth. And he basically called him a liar, said that's not true. What he said isn't what happened. He's not happy with what was said. And then he said that he will come out after, at a later date, we don't know when, and speak on it. Now, whether he's going to go on the show, or whether he's going to do an audio recording, or whether he's just lying, he's probably lying because he doesn't speak to the media. He doesn't speak to the fans. He only speaks to students at Cambridge, right? Do you think Daniel Levy panicked, needed to react, or do you think actually David Webb was lying? But before you answer, why would David Webb lie? What does he get out of lying? So what do you make of Daniel Levy responding to this? I couldn't believe Levy responded. And do you know what's funny? Bob Spur, on Bob Spur TV in the morning, he does his morning shows from the car. Yeah. They actually said on the show, I remember Bob saying to Kuva on the show, do you think Levy will respond to this? Surely he's got to respond. And he did. He spoke to Simon Jordan.
It's like the only reason I would ever see for the David Webb guy to lie is if he was a fan and he wanted some change in the club, right? And he thought that with his position and experience that he had, him saying that thing will add fuel to the fire, as I said, right? So that's like the only reason I would see for him to lie in that situation, right? But with Levy, listen, there is a slight possibility that it's all not true, right? What was said, a slight possibility, right? Because we cannot know for certain, right? We don't have 100% guarantee that it went the way that David Webb described, right? But like it all points to being true, right? It's especially like because we as fans are so like we don't trust the guy, right? We don't trust him. That's like the reason why we will always put those things in doubt, right? Whenever someone says something like this, we'll always believe the person rather than Levy, right? So, as I said, even if somehow it's not true, I'm happy that it was said. I'm happy that the things were said, right?
But if it wasn't true, why would he lie?
As I said, the only explanation I see is if he was a fan of Spurs, right, and he wanted the ownership to change or whatever, right, and he thought that with his experience, if I say this, people will probably believe me, so then I will add fuel to the fire, as I said, right. That's the only reason I see for David Webb to lie.
But if David Webb wants another job in the industry, lying isn't the way to attract a new employer to say, hey, I want you to come and work for us. So isn't he taking a risk if he is, isn't he just basically destroying his potential career by lying?
Like he is taking the risk by even opening his mouth, like in the first place, right? Because most of the time things like that should not ever see the light of the day, right? Even if if it happened or not, right? Those things probably should be kept behind the closed doors, right? So the sheer fact that he even spoke about the issue, right, is risky at all, right? Because the next employer might doubt his credibility with him being so open to talking, right? I'll be right back, sister. I got to take care of something. Okay, I will be back in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no worries. Easy come, easy go. Back on my own. Flying solo again. Pick up some bloke. Well, that's what I asked, James. Why would Webb lie in public? That's exactly the question I have. What benefit has he got from doing that? You know who the liar is. Yeah. Why lie and risk his career? This is it. This is it. Can someone add me to the WhatsApp group? Ron Vinayak. I don't know I don't have your number, Ron. Do you know anyone who's got your number? Message them. Let me know. Maz Silver, we need a statue of Steel opposite the club shop. Mate, I'll take it. It'll probably get destroyed by all the Enoch in crowd, though. Peter Simmons, we all know Levy interferes. Nothing new here. But what's new is someone coming out and actually saying, I'm aware of what happened. I know that we had deals lined up and they didn't get it over the line. And there were times in that interview with Simon Jordan, I'm sure there was a moment where David Webb he said something along the lines of Daniel Levy did have an opinion and he did have a say on certain transfers. So that's the key thing, is when we're now getting it from people who were involved in that circle, we're hearing it from their mouths. I don't think Webb would lie. Levy is taking a beating all over the media now, so he has to respond. Yeah. That's what Bob Vancouver said on their morning show when that was said. David Webb no longer works at Tottenham. He has no reason to lie. Levy is just trying to cover his tracks. Spot on. Brendan Rodgers is less sexy than the German manager, but he'll deliver an FA Cup within 2 to 3 seasons. Not with our players, he won't. Never say never. I don't want Brendan Rodgers. If I could pick any manager right now, assuming that Tottenham are going to listen to the manager and listen to the sporting director, I would take Ralph Rangnick and Nagelsmann as a package right now. I would. Or I'd bring back Paul Mitchell and Poch. They're the two combinations I'd have. Mitchell and Poch or Rangnick and Nagelsmann. Personally, I think we should go Rangnick and Nagelsmann and give it a new go with a new face and a new set of ideas. I don't want Poch to come back whilst Daniel Levy's here, if I'm really going to be honest. Whilst Daniel Levy's here, I don't want Pochettino anywhere near the club, because I can't sit there and watch Poch get screwed over by this chairman again, which is what he'll do. Big up, Robbie. How you doing, my man? Everyone, make sure you subscribe and like Lily White Lane's channel. Top boy is Robbie. I hope for a good result tomorrow, but could see a Woy masterclass. Robbie, who knows, right? It's Tottenham. Probably going to finish 3-3. DJ Kane, your 5 minutes of kindness for me comes to an end soon. Uh-oh. Trouble. Playing devil's advocate, the only reason he could possibly want to lie is to use it as an excuse for poor signings. E.g., it ain't my fault we signed crap players when actually, okay, yeah, to protect his credibility. The thing is, though, he actually had a good track record. He's got a good name in the industry as well. So, but never say never. Webb is linked with the Celtic job. They said it in that show. They asked him if he's had any contact, and he said no. Bring it, big boy. Once the news spread, this will cause a big impact on his job role. Mafia Levy. Still, every manager, agents, and other club owners have said the same thing about Levy. I know. I don't think that's the cause. Something else I wanted to bring up as well, guys. I do want to get, in fact, I'm going to get into the Crystal Palace game, and then I'll come back to there's some stuff I want to talk about the protest tomorrow, and we've changed for Tottenham and Enoch out Levy. There's some bits I want to touch, but let me bring in Ashmatic, who's coming at the right time, because we're going to talk about the football. Because people say we don't talk about football on this channel.
Hey, Dyer out, Dan. Dyer out. Eric Dyer out. There you go.
Dyer
That's what I'm saying. My AG, you know. Jeez. Hey, what are you talking about? Get him out, man. He's got to go, my broski. He's got to go. He's got to go, man. He's done out here. He's done out here. Too stiff, too wooden. Yeah. What's going on, birthday boy, though? What are you telling me?
Do you know what? I had a lovely... I went out... No, it was yesterday. I went out last night.
Okay.
I went out last night. I had a great night. I had good drinks, good company, good food, really good food. I'm a food guy.
Okay.
So I enjoy my
kebab, man.
Anyway, last night I went to Italian place uptown. Had a fantastic Tuscan steak. I had
nice.
They did this dish. They did this one dish. It was a fish dish. It was just fantastic, man. So,
recommended, yeah.
It's called Buca di Lupo. It's not cheap, but hey, I'm not cheap.
So you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. I love it. I love
Absolutely,
it. I'm here
man.
for it, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
Big up Ash. Big up Ash. Ashmatic. Who would take Diet on his wages? Oh, fuck knows, man.
Exactly. I don't know. But rip up the contract,
Ashmatic,
though.
the only one to challenge Snell on his tactics.
Nah. Snell's a coach. Me, I'm learning. I'm here to learn, bro. I'm here to learn.
Prepared to be
bro.
Let's get on to the let's go to the game tomorrow, Schmack.
Yeah.
First of all, let's see how important this game actually is, because I've got the league table up here. I'll get it up nice so we can quickly have a look at it. That's too big. Let me break that down a bit. Hold on. Let me sort this out. Too big.
I'm saying.
So,
I mean, the games we've got compared to the Aston Villa and Brighton, I think they've got quite a few hard games in there still left.
What worries me though when I look at this is that if you look at the top 10, only Tottenham and Arsenal are the only teams to have won one game out of the last 5. So Spurs and Arsenal have got the worst current record out of anyone in the top 5, and we have lost the most along with Fulham. So we're out of the top 10. Spurs are in the worst form, and if we look at Crystal Palace, they've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. They're in not bad form. They've only lost 1 in 5, so they're coming into this game with a bit of good form. We're coming into it with really bad form, but the positive is we are scoring a lot more goals, but we're conceding more. So
I think we've got like one of the worst away records as well. Ever.
Yeah, horrendous.
Ever.
Horrendous.
So it's like
38 goals conceded or something mad like that away.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I think our home games were okay. Imagine we had the best start. Can you believe that, guys? We had the best start. Like, the irony is crazy. We had the best start to Tottenham's season. I can't comprehend that. And we are where we are now. That's just mad to me. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, listen, we all owe Antonio Conte a massive thank you, because if it wasn't for him, we'd probably get relegated.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe not that bad, right? But that definitely holds true for Chelsea. If not for Tuchel's work in the first 9 games or however many he was there, they would have been in the fucking dumps. I swear to God, I've never seen team as bad as them in the Premier League. I swear. Maybe like Derby that had 11 points.
It's a Derby, you know. And imagine the irony is that Lampard managed Derby. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that for size?
Like, okay, maybe like Sheffield from 2 seasons ago, they didn't win the game for like 20 something matches, right? Okay, that's worse, right? But in terms of like the stature of the club, the money spent, they are an absolute shit show. This season only Everton like top them in terms of like how shit they are, but at least they show some fight, right? With Chelsea, it's just they just go through the motions. They know they cannot get relegated, right? It's pretty much mathematically impossible unless one of the relegation teams beat City, right? Which won't happen. Like, let's be honest, right? So they are just going through the motions. They are going to finish like 14th or 15th. Chelsea.
You know what's mad? They tried to put a Bangyan up front, and he ain't scored since maybe Arsenal. Maybe was it the last time he scored a goal? Wow, it's just shocking. It's absolutely diabolical what Frank's doing there. He might go for the whole season without a win. That would be some type of record if he does it. But anyway, let's with Chelsea.
With the microphone,
Jay,
better, boys. Because I something about my microphone, so
it's okay. It's okay. I'm all right with it. Jay, you say Conte didn't get the best out of the players, but then you could say exactly the same for Poch's last 3 months. Jose Mourinho, we finished 7th. You could say Nuno just collapsed. Ryan Mason, we're conceding more goals than I've ever seen before. So I don't mind if you want to criticize Conte, but then you need to apply the same logic to all 17 managers under under Levy and Enoch because the same shit happened in the end. So I think the players just aren't good enough, Jay. And it's not me being biased. Eric Dyer shouldn't be at Tottenham, nor should Ben Davies. Sessegnon shouldn't be here. Emerson Royal shouldn't be here. Jed Spence probably shouldn't be here, if we're honest about it. The goalkeeper should have been gone 2 years ago, Hugo. Fraser Forrest, I mean, are you kidding me?
By the way,
the
boys,
midfield weak without Benton Cord. There's a lot lacking in this team, a lot.
Still, with Hugo, right? Because Mason said he will be out for the rest of the season, right? There is a possibility that the 6-1 absolute school fucking that we received from Newcastle will be his last game ever for us. Like our captain, you know, the guy that has been here for a decade, which we all loved, right, for the most of his career, right? There is a high possibility that his last game will be that school fucking, right? It feels bad, honestly. Like I know he's been shit this season, but I feel bad for him that if this is his last official game, right? We'll probably if he's going to leave, we'll probably do some match in the summer with Nice or someone else, right? With a club, and that will be his last match, right? But last match 4 points, 6-1.
They'll probably bring him on. They'll probably bring him on the last home game of the season for like 5 minutes at the end just to say goodbye to the fans, and so that will probably go down as if we're selling him. Then again, we've got a really shit way of getting rid of players, so God knows. But Crystal Palace, guys, what do you make of it? We're going into this game in bad form. They're going into the game in much better form. We've got a good record against Palace at White Hart Lane. No, I have to say we do have a good record against them. But what do records mean this season? We should win it. We're attacking better. We're scoring more goals. But that defense, Eze's looking good. Zaha is Zaha. Crystal Palace are looking much more of a threat under Roy. Who would have thought? Why turning the screw at Crystal Palace? But it's not going to be easy, is it, guys? We're going to make this hard work somehow, surely.
Man, like Uncle Roy, Roy the tactician. Jeez, I can't believe it. Man, like Roy the Rovers. It's crazy, but you know what it is? I think it's rude to my brother. I don't know. I just think it's a bit mad. Like Vieira, it's mad because he had a hard run in. And as soon as the games went easy, they sacked him. So I'm thinking, was it really Roy's team? I mean, I know they're saying he played players in his position, whatnot, but against the top teams, they're going to get found out. You might have to change it up a little bit. And against the lesser teams, then you can kind of play with more of the attacking team, with more attacking players. So, obviously, you can't take away what Roy's done, Roy's the gaffer. I get it. He's done his thing. But, yeah, man, I just think it was a bit harsh on Vieira. That's all. But I think, in general, Spurs against informed Palace, I still think the only way for us is to attack because we've got no defense. I just say we attack. We attack. We've got nothing to lose. I know Europa, you got that to lose, but I mean, really, just go for it. In my opinion, go for it because our strength is in our attack. So why not go for it?
We don't deserve Europe. I swear to God. With
No,
how we are
don't.
playing, we don't deserve Europe. There is Villa and Brighton and even Liverpool with how they picked up their form. They deserve Europe more than us.
No, I think we deserve Conference League. That's what I think we deserve. I don't want Conference League.
Yeah,
but I think we deserve a 7th place finish. I think that's about our level. I don't think we're Europa level. I think Brighton should get Europa or Aston Villa. One of those two teams should be Europa. And then I think Champions League, whoever finishes in that top 4 deserve it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. But I don't think we're Champions League level. I don't think we're Europa level. I think conference is about our level. But I'll be happy not to be in it next season because I just don't think we have a big enough squad to rotate. I know we've got a lot of academy players and fringe players and stuff that we could utilize in different formations and we could use that competition or we could actually go for it and try to win that trophy because none of the top 6 Premier League teams are going to be in it. So all the teams that are in conference, we've got more chance of lifting the cup. And we can't turn up our nose for winning the cup. I used to like it when it was a Cup Winners' Cup. I think it had a bit more credentials. But because it's called a conference, I'm like, oh, conference? Stinks. Do you know what I'm saying? But you know what? We just can't be choosers.
The problem is with European football nowadays is that when I was growing up, I don't want to show my age, but the European competition, you had to be a winner to qualify. You only got into the European Cup if you won your league. You only got into UEFA Cup if you came second or third, or you won an FA Cup. Second or third.
Coca-Cola Cup. Coca-Cola
if you
Cup.
won the FA Cup. Coca-Cola Cup, you didn't qualify for nothing. You either had to win the league, come second, or win the FA Cup. So it's really for the winners and the runners-up.
Yep.
Nobody else. Nowadays, third place, fourth place, fifth place, sixth place, seventh place. They all get into Europe, and this is it's not. The year Liverpool won the Champions League, they came fourth in the league. The year before, how can the fourth team in England be crowned champions of Europe?
Yeah, don't make no sense, bro. You're right, man.
Yeah,
you're right. Still,
it really just is about money. How do we get the most teams? How do we make it possible so that the biggest clubs in Europe almost are guaranteed a place in Europe, so that people will watch the competitions? And that's in reality, that's what they've done.
Secretly, Super League, innit? Secretly, innit? If you think about it, they want the best teams in Europe playing on those TV channels, so they get bigger numbers, innit? Eyeballs are watching it. Nobody wants to watch Betis or Rennes like how we were playing last season. Not last season, mate. 2 seasons ago.
Like add to that what they are doing with Champions League, with the whole group stage thing, right? Because I'm not sure if it will be from the next season or the one after that, but they are switching to the 32 teams in one group format. You play 8 matches with random opponents. First 8 qualify straight to the playoffs, right? From 9 to 24, it's a playoff. That whole like mad absolute thing, right? So yeah, they are basically doing a Super League, but with a Champions League name on it, right?
Basically.
Basically.
And they're saying top 5 now as well. They're saying like they're adding another place. So
it is next, no longer as of the year after it's top 5. It is top
crazy.
5.
It's crazy, bro.
Has, how you doing, brother?
Man, like As.
You all right? How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, man.
Welcome from Netherlands. I'm in Holland at the moment, so I've done well to find the Wi-Fi signal.
Is that why you're on the? Is that why you're on the munchies?
Yeah. You know what?
Got him.
We got him, people. We got him.
So, right, you should be here celebrating your birthday. I'm actually going to meet the bun tomorrow. Not to have a bun.
That's gonna get messy. That's gonna get messy.
Oh, I thought you said man. I thought you said you got to link man. I was like, right, you got like that, yeah? I thought you going down to Germany or something.
No,
Danny the man.
Oh, the bun. Danny B. Danny K. Danny
watch
B.
the Tottenham game tomorrow, in Amsterdam. So, yeah. Either way, we'll see what happens in it. Guys, tomorrow, if you want my opinion on tomorrow, look, Crystal Palace, you guys said it, they're on form at the moment. They've got brilliant young players, and I don't know what it is. I mean, look, Patrick Vieira started off well over there. I think they pulled the trigger on him a bit too quick, because I think he could have done bits over there, but Roy seems to have got the best out of these players somehow, and they seem to be firing on all cylinders. And I think we're going to have a tough time, even though we're playing at home, and statistically, we are better than them when we play at home. But you know what? It's going to be a tough match, because, and I'll tell you why. Right, a lot of the clubs, probably all the teams in the Premier League at the moment, whether they're in the bottom 5 or the top 5, they will all look at Spurs and say, we've got a chance. Okay. There's always a chance against us. Liverpool, 3 goals in first 15 minutes. Newcastle, 20 minutes, 5 goals. We've become a soft touch, and anyone who plays us will be willing to have a go. And Palace, the way they've been playing, Roy's going to say, look, they're on the ropes at the moment. Go out and do your thing. Yeah. They won't have no fear against us. I'm not saying we're going to lose for sure, because obviously we've got firepower up front as well, but they're going to come swinging tomorrow. And Yeah, it's going to be a tough match. It's going to be a tough match. But in terms of Europe as well, listen, the only reason I don't want us to go into Europe next season is just to save us the embarrassment, if I'm being honest with you, because
Oh Jesus,
uh,
that's so
like,
sad.
You think the same. You think the same way, bro.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Tottenham in Champions League? Look at the
Forget Champions League. That's done. That's done.
look. I'm just saying, as a technically, look at our group
Comparison.
this season. Look at our group this season
that's a
that we started.
comparison.
Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, easy, Porto, we'll get out of that group." No, we just about got out, and then everyone was like, "Yeah, Milan, they're not doing too good. But we could do them." Nah. What did we do? We went out with a whimper. That second leg that we played was embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. So for me, what's the point in qualifying for either Champions League or Europa League when we're just gonna go out with a whimper? We'll embarrass ourselves. Conference League, I'm not going to turn my nose at a Conference League. If we got into the Conference League, you might as well go for it. Look what Mourinho done at Roma. Did any one of them? Now, Roma's a massive club. Did he turn his nose at that? No. He won them their first European trophy ever. This year, he could get them their second one in the Europa League.
Yeah.
And then qualify for the champion. They've qualified for
You know he's going to do it. You know he's going to
Listen, if he does that, he's got every right to rub salt into the wound, because
he's already the GOAT, man. He's already the GOAT.
Listen. The bare facts is, right, we've had two absolutely fantastic, world-class, elite manager, best of the best at this club. And the fact is that they've won nothing. Nothing. So anyone who wants to bring in another top world-class manager thinking, yeah, this is going to be the answer, it's not. What makes you think that this one's going to achieve it over Conte or Mourinho? What? Today, we've been linked with Nagelsmann. There's been like stronger links and stuff. Look, if Nagelsmann comes, fair enough. It is what it is. He's bright.
In fact, Has, answer this question. Let's all answer this question. Who would you prefer as the next manager?
Look, I can't put a finger on it still. Honestly, I can't. But for me, any manager that comes in is going to need to accept a few facts when he goes to Tottenham. He's got to accept the fact that he's got to be working on the Levy. We know that anyway. But he's also got to accept the fact that players are going to be bought for him. And he's also got to accept the fact that he's going to be working within certain restraints. All of these things. Any top-class manager right now looking at Tottenham will see Conte, what happened with Conte, what happened with Mourinho, etc. They'll see that and they'll be like, do you know what? I don't fancy my chances there. But for me, it's just got to be a yes man. That's the bare the bare truth of it. It's got to be a yes man. To work underneath Levy, you have to be a yes man, or else it's not going to work. And that is the bottom line.
I mean, I get why you say that, Has, right? But the last thing I want is a yes man, right? Even if that manager, accepts the fact that he works under Levy, I want him to stir shit up, right? That's it. Listen, if Conte wasn't enough for people, maybe the next manager will be enough for people. If we get a yes man, right? It all just calms down. People will be like, won't be so up in arms if the manager is always saying yes to whatever Levy.
I don't want a yes man.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, on the face of it, it's got to be that, because I'm looking at the situation and I'm thinking, world-class manager, who takes over? Who's going to come? Like world-class manager.
For me, like my best choice for a new manager would be Nagelsmann, and the reason why I'm saying that is because if we appointed him, right, that means that he's like certain criteria that we already know about, right, had to be met, right? Otherwise, he's not coming. So him being here means that, listen, maybe something good will happen for once with this club, right? Because otherwise, if you get I don't know, like who to give as an example, the Brentford manager, for example, if we got him, right, you know that he, with his CV, you know, with his experience, he cannot demand as much as Nagelsmann, who worked in Bayern, right? As much as Alonso, who worked in Leverkusen, right? Much bigger clubs than Brentford, with all due respect, right? So if a manager from one of those clubs got appointed, it means that, you know, that certain demands have to be met. Otherwise, it's going to end up in a dumpster fire again. So I know maybe that doesn't make much logic, right? Because I'm kind of like demanding that the demands get met before the manager gets appointed, like to prove the point that the demands have been met. Like you get my point, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Nagelsmann would be a perfect choice for me, and that's not even talking about like his playing style. I think that we are suited to play a back three system, but a more offensive one. So Nagelsmann would be perfect in that sense for me. And like, but it's not only about Nagelsmann himself, as Stel has said at the beginning of the show, right? It's also about the director of football. It's also about what players we bring. It's not as simple as just changing the manager, right?
No,
Sorry, my whole like all of those sentences were really convoluted.
no.
I just kind of lost my thought.
It's like you said. Also, that manager has to bring in his own team. That manager has to bring in his own people to implement his philosophy or whatever you want to call it. You know, so there's it's not just the manager. You're right. There's got to be more changes than the manager. It needs to be changed up from top to bottom. You know, from top to bottom. There's
Jason, he makes a good point here, right? Big up Jason Groves. Before Conte came in, that's what we said. He's not a yes man. He brought in his coaching team. What happened?
But he wasn't a yes man, right? After all, it all ended in a dumpster fire, right? That's my point exactly, right? If you bring in a guy who is a yes man, like from the beginning, and agrees to every single thing that Levy lays in front of him, then this will be a stale situation again, right? It won't evolve into anything. So I would rather have a manager with his own demands and his own ideas for a project to either achieve the project or end up in the dumpster fire again, right? Because listen, Conte didn't start as big of a fire as we all expected, right? We all said when he was appointed that he will absolutely ruin the club. That didn't necessarily happen, but the Levy out movement never was this strong, right? After what Conte did, and all it took was a string of bad results and him throwing a kitchen sink at it at a press conference, right? So if a next manager like that, maybe not with such a temper, but similar with a similar status comes in, and his demands also don't get met, and he again, the project or however you want to call it fails, right? Then more people will be more willing to point a finger at Levy, right? And if that's not enough, then I want the next manager who does the same thing, right? Because if people I'm baffled that people still need convincing in that terms, right? But if they do need convincing, then I want them to be convinced, right, by the next manager. I'm sorry, I don't want to ruin any manager's career, but what I care about the most is the club, right? So for the good of the club, I think a manager like Nagelsmann will be the best, right? Because it either works out or he fucks off and adds another wood to the fire, right? Another piece of wood.
Do you think we'll get Nagelsmann? Because all the reports, and again, you know what reports are like. God knows what it means. But all the reports are saying that he wants assurances on transfers and he wants Rangnick as director of football. And he like Conte, he's got demands. And have you noticed, managers now come to Spurs, I've got demands. Because Levy, they've sussed him out slowly. So is Nagelsmann realistically going to get what he wants? Because unless he does, then is he going to be the next manager? And if he's not the next manager, who are we getting, guys? Who do you think? There's so many reports now.
Rodgers.
Thomas Frank, Xabi Alonso, Brendan Rodgers, some random guy from Germany or Portugal or Sweden or wherever.
I told you still.
Yeah, the most likely outcome is the whole thing with Nagelsmann fails and they default to Rodgers because they will start panicking because of like time, right? It's like I don't think it's a similar situation when people count days as it was with Nuno, right? Because with Nuno it was like 70 something days, but I think like Mourinho got sacked later than Conte in the season, right? Like Mason only had to take over for like 6 games, I think. Whereas
Mourinho got
Conte
sacked before the Carabao Cup final.
Also, that would mean
I think it was
earlier,
April,
right?
because it got delayed, didn't it? Because of COVID.
April.
I think it was in April,
Yeah.
about the same time, ish.
Yeah, so like, listen, if they don't fix up, it will be like 70 or more days again, right? I think Bob's posted a question whether we think it happens before 100-day mark, right? 100-day mark is like what, beginning of July, I think. That's not really, that far off, right? So I think if it doesn't work with Nagelsmann, they will panic and try to appoint someone as soon as like the season ends, which will probably end up being Rodgers in that case, right? Because as you said, all the good managers will want assurances with like, I don't think Rodgers is bad, right? But all the managers with like that can have demands, right? Like Nagelsmann will want those demands to be fulfilled, whereas Rodgers will probably also have like some demands, but that are much more flexible and meetable with Levy's approach. That's how I see it, right? I would love Nagelsmann, but I find it hard for it to happen, right?
Ashmatic, what about you?
It's a mad one. I just think the best manager is the one that is going to be here for long term, that wants to commit to the club long term. Other managers have come in, and I feel like they haven't been sure whether they want to see like a long term future with Spurs. So whoever comes in, they have to be 100% down for the club. But I agree, man. I don't even want to be an echo chamber, but it is what it is. I think I wanted to disagree somehow, but I just think with Nagelsmann, me personally, the fact that he worked with youth at Hoffenheim, and he worked with more established players at RB, and he got both teams up to a certain level. Like he pushed obviously Hoffenheim from the wrong side of the league to the top side of the league, and they made their first ever top 4 push, and then he progressed on that to RB. I remember when we played RB Leipzig when we had Mourinho, and I thought this team is a problem. Like they're hard working, we can't get them off the ball. Like I just thought, wow, this team is solid. I didn't know about Nagelsmann like that before, but I just rated RB Leipzig at the time. But like just ignoring the Bayern Munich job, just the way like Michael was saying, he's got a similar formation to what we actually employ at the moment, which is the 3-4-3, but it kind of suits more of the Tottenham way, where we're more attacking, we're more front-footed, more possession-based, etc., etc. So I think the fans will have more patience, because it's all about the fans. They're the ones that make the ball kind of react. Mm-hmm. If we're playing well, I think fans have more patience, even if we're not like top of the league or we're not like in the top 4, etc. If people go to games and they see a bit of fight from Spurs, then I think it can work. But if we're going to games and it's like people aren't enjoying the football, fans are very black and white. They're very flip-floppish. So they're ready to 3-4 games are losing, then they're ready to turn their head against the manager. But also, I think what's more important is the director of football, because the director of football outlasts the manager. Yeah. And so if you look at most football top teams, like you got your Man City, you've got Borussia Dortmund, even your RB Leipzig, your Salzburgs, like you've got even Brighton. If you look at Brighton and Brentford now, they all have an identity.
Sorry,
like
Brighton. Haas,
go on.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's fixing his
He's got like little bowls. He's stirring. He's cooking.
He's making himself at home.
What's going on? I can't listen to if you focus on his face, he was like,
yeah, doing the whole.
yeah.
No, but I Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah,
No,
go
all
on,
I was going to
sorry.
finish off. I'll finish it. I'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
All I
finish
was
what you're
saying
saying,
is
mate.
Spurs. No, I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up. All I was saying, over the last 3 to 4 seasons, I think we've lost our identity because we've had change of managers and change of sporting directors. So one manager, I like the last one, Conte, Paratici, and Levy, all went on the same page at the same time. Levy wanted club signings, so he was doing his own thing, bringing in players who he thought was good. Then you had Paratici. He had his own idea of what players that he wanted to bring in, what he wanted to use. And then I think Conte was like, well, I don't want some of these players either because I want like ready now players that are ready to come for me now. Like I want my Ashley Young, I want my Brogovic, I want my players that are ready to kick for me now. So I don't think all of their philosophies aligned completely. So I'm just hoping if we've got a steady director of football, then whoever comes in, whether it's Nagelsmann or wherever, 3-4 years down the line, we have an identity as Spurs because that keeps chopping and changing between Mourinho, between what's his face, the ball-headed man, and Conte.
Nuno.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Slot.
Nuno.
Ash,
Sorry.
can I say something?
Go on.
There's a far bigger problem though at the club at the moment, okay, and that's the players that we have out on loan and the players that we need to get rid of. So whoever comes in has got that job as well. So
Yeah, but
I think
that's
the sporting
director of
director
football's job, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
That's what I'm saying, my bro.
The
I'm saying
director that comes in, the manager's philosophy has to line up with their philosophy, like with their sort of way of doing business, if you know what I mean.
I agree. Yeah,
The sporting
definitely.
director
100%.
has got a big job on his hands because we've got to get rid of a shitload of players from this club. Okay, the ones that are out on loan, like there's probably two at a push. There's probably two that I would keep. I would probably take Reguilon. I'll take him back and get rid of Sessegnon, who's non-existent again this season. He's just so injury prone. And then you've got Udogi, and you've got Sess as your two left backs. Maybe Perisic if he's still there as well, but Perisic is more versatile. And then Ndombele, I don't know. That's a conundrum, man, because
fuck him off.
a lot of
I know
people-
the guy has talent, but
yeah.
no, I'm
A
done
lot of
with him.
people though are quite split at the moment.
Put some
Why?
respect
Because-
on his name. He just won Serie A.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, playing
Ndombele,
50
mate.
minutes every few
Ndombele.
weeks.
Listen,
I know. He hardly plays.
who's the guy at Manchester United, the defender, who's always there every season?
Martinez.
Who?
Oh,
No, Phil
Maguire.
Jones.
Maguire.
Phil Jones.
Yeah,
Phil
Phil
Jones,
Jones.
right?
Oh.
Look at Phil
Half
Jones'
a game,
medals.
man.
He hardly plays. Look at all the medals that he stacked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they've got something to show for it. But look, in a nutshell, we need to sort out the players for next season because everyone's thinking whoever comes in now, we're going to get this player, we're going to get that player, we're going to get that. It's not going to happen unless we move players on. It's not going to happen. And Levy again is going to say, what can you do with these players? The likes of fucking Dyer and Davies still there. What can you do with him? He's been here.
All right, let me answer that. Let me intervene quick. So basically, I've got the image on my phone, but I can't share it. But basically, there's a lot of players that are on 2 years left on their contract. So a lot of those loan players you're talking about, they're on 2 years. A lot of the players that we want to get rid of.
WhatsApp me the image and I can put it on the screen.
All right, cool. I need to come off this though, but sorry, I'll make my point and then I'll.
Don't worry.
Yeah?
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
You sure?
Cool,
you
cool,
sure?
cool.
I will send it to you. I'll definitely send it to you. I'll finish my point.
I was only going to say now because I can show it on the screen, but don't worry. Keep going.
Cool.
Sorry, man.
So, like, all right. For example, Sanchez has got 1 year left. Winks has got 1 year left. Eric Dyer's got 1 year left. Obviously, Harry Kane's got 1 year left. Son's on 2 years. Then we've got, I think Cess has even got 2 years. I know he's injury prone, but a lot of these,
Cesspool.
Yeah, Cesspool, man. He's more interested than Darren Addington, I reckon. Like he's got so much. He might just rip up the contract.
I kid you not, he's a bigger failure than Royal.
Yeah, trust me.
He is.
And I hope that people realize it, right? Royal at least fucking plays the game, right? And isn't injured every 3 games.
The
so you can at least count on him, right?
The so-so another one.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's cool. there's a lot of players that are on 2-year contracts. So everyone's coming towards the end of their contract. Obviously, we just bought players. So like players we just bought Romero, Bentancur, obviously Kulusevski that we're going to spend money on in the summer. But they're all on 3 to 4 years. Basuma, 3 to 4 years. So all the fresh ones, even the one that you mentioned, Edoji, he's on 3 to 4 years as well, because obviously we just bought him. So I do understand it's a big job for the director of football to move all of those players on. However, a lot of them by next season are coming towards the end of their contracts. And my hope, and obviously it's a wild hope because Levy is involved. And whenever Levy's involved, go on.
That's a problem. Because I get what you're saying. You're saying that they come to the end of their contracts. We don't need to worry about selling them. Their time's up, right? The problem with that is we owe over £200 million in transfer fees because they're all in installments, right? If we don't sell them players and they go on a free, that's £200 million worth of money owed that we now can't pay from selling players. We need to sell to pay that debt. Otherwise, what will happen is if we've got that £200 million debt sitting on our club, where does the money come from to buy the next lot? Because you can't add on top of that debt. And without Champions League football and maybe Europa Cup, this is where now we get ourselves into muddy waters because of the business and the way we've done it the past 2-3 years. We need to sell them. Even if we take let's say Ndombele, we could only sell him for 20 million. Take that 20 mil.
Mate, take 20 million.
Take it, because if we get zero, that doesn't even put a dent in that 200 million we owe.
I was
so I hear what you're saying, but
I was going to say
it's going to get ugly.
Run down. I was going to say let it run down, but I'm saying we're at the point where we need to make decisions because we've got some players have got a year left, some players have got 2 years left. So it's a point in the career where the director of football, whoever he is, has to come in, and as you guys are saying, it has to be.
I like that.
No, he's got to come in and he's got to get busy. He's got to get to work. I'm being real. And then also, I think there's been a gap. Paratici, I'm not mad at him, by the way. Like, a lot of people don't like him. I think he did a good job. I thought he brought in quite a few good players, Bentancur being one, Kulusevski, Romero. So he's done bits. He's done Porro. Yeah, he's done bits. Like, I'm not mad at him. But the only thing I wasn't too impressed with him was I think there was like a small gap. I think we lost our way in terms of philosophy when it came to our academy. So we've got now a lot of academy players. I feel like they might just keep it stepping. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that part of our club where we're trying to make that transition of academy player into the senior squad has lost its way a little bit. I think we've lost some of our way into introducing some of our youngsters, because some clubs, they got young players coming through, and then in about 4 to 5 years, they're able to sell on. If I look at Brighton, they've got loads of 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. And by the time maybe 4 or 5 years comes along, they're able to sell, but then the next one comes along, and they just keep So I'm saying our actual philosophy is a bit broken in terms of how we used to be. I know like the gap's changed because since we went to Champions League, I know Conte said, look, the gap's too much of a jump, like between our youth and where we want to be. But I think we just need to get back there. Now that we're dropping out, we're finishing 7th, we're finishing outside of the European spots. I think now we need to kind of get back to that level where we're able to, otherwise we end up losing Divine, Mundell, all of those type of guys that start going out, and it's a waste of our academy, in my opinion.
Yeah, like my take on the whole youth thing, right? It's you only can bring in youth players in 2 situations, and that's what Stel usually says, right? You can only bring them if your club is stabilized, right? And you have your stabilized 11, and then you only plug one or 2 youngsters in, right? So they can develop and get some game time. Or if you are desperate and you need new players, like the bottom half of the league teams, right? They can bring in youth players because they need to survive, right? They need some new blood, they need some fresh blood, right? Like if you let's look at City, right? Then they can develop guys like Palmer or Foden because their whole team and structure is stabilized, right? So if they for 1 or 2 games plug KDB out and put in Foden, right, that doesn't hurt them because they will still win games. Those youngsters don't have as much pressure, right? With Arsenal and all their youth, right, they had 3 years to waste to develop those players. Now they are reaping the rewards, but they had to take it on the chin, right? With United, like they have only Rashford and and a couple of other guys. So And with the whole like Brighton, Brentford, right? Those clubs cannot buy the best players, so they have to rely on youth intakes and the buying young players, right? We are at this like peculiar situation where we try to compete for the top 4, top 6, whatever spots. So we need already developed players to fight for those spots, right? Because the squad isn't good enough. So we cannot really like plug, Dyer's like hole with a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old, because if that guy fucks up, then the target is on his back, right? And we destroy the kid with that much pressure and that much expectations. Of course, there are some kids who can take that level of pressure, right? Like Wayne Rooney started at 16, Haaland is 21 or whatever, right? There are kids that can take it, but you have to like do your due diligence and know that you aren't destroying the kid by doing so, right? So I completely back what you said. I would love it if we develop more youngsters. I just feel like we either have to stabilize the team with buying a lot of players, like clearing it out, and if you have established 11 and 3-4 subs so that your team can perform, then you can start bringing in youth if the team is stabilized. Or we do it the Arsenal way, right? Clear every shit out, take 3 years on the chin, end up 8th, 10th, whatever it takes, right? But then we have time to develop guys like Devine, because they will play every single game then, like Saka did, right? Like, look at Saka, right? He played every single game pretty much. Like, when his career started for real at Arsenal, he's playing every single game. The kid had time to develop. He has as much game time as some like pros at 25 years old or something mad like that, right? And or you do it the Phil Foden way. He's playing 16 games a season, right? But he's 21. When he's 25, he will probably be a starter for City, but it takes time, right? So that's my way of looking at it.
Phil Foden was a very, very, very good young player, and he came into a team that is thriving. City can carry a little weakness in their team if they have to, because they're surrounded by and also they've got a manager that's been at the club long enough now. Pep would have known Foden for maybe 3-4 years. City's a well-oiled machine, man. It's a well-oiled machine.
That's the point I'm making, right? Either your team is well-oiled, or you take it on the chin and try to develop the team to be well-oiled based on the youth, right?
Michael,
But you cannot do it.
Michael, do you know what? I think with developing youngsters, a lot of it comes down to expectation, right? Not expectation on the youngster, but expectation on the team. Whatever the expectation on the team is will be reflected in the youngster coming through. For example, there was no expectation with Poch other than to just keep us top 6. So when youngsters did well under him, it was like, yeah, this is good. With Pep Guardiola, the expectation is for Man City to constantly thrive. So if Foden came in and he sank after 5-10 games, he would have been out. Believe you me. The problem at Spurs we've got now is the expectation is so low and it's so shit and it's such a bad environment that it's not good. It's not a good vibe. So if we were a top team like City right now, even Arsenal at the moment, they're a good side. If we were them, for a youngster to come in, if they don't pow early, they won't survive. Whereas now, if we finish 7th, we're in the shitty Europa Conference League, which I think that's where we're going to be personally, but we'll see. Now is the time to bring through youngsters, because the expectation at the club is low. We're not expecting much. So if these youngsters come in, there's not this pressure on them.
Yeah, and that's my point on taking it on the chin, right? The second way. So if the expectation is so low, and we that try to develop the youth, right? Let's be honest, if half of our team is like consisted of Divine Scarlets, and with all due respect, I know they are talented kids, right? But they cannot compete with City for top 4 spots, or Arsenal for top 4 spots, or other clubs, right? Like that, right? So we'll probably end up finishing 7th again, right? But then those players will have a year of experience on their belt, right? Then next season, when they are already like established players in the squad and they can develop further, like Saka did, right? So that's the Arsenal route from like Michael, 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah.
I agree with you. There needs to be room for error for these youngsters coming in. They need to be able to make mistakes, to learn from mistakes. At the moment, it's been false expectations with us for the last few years. You know, thinking that we could actually win stuff, this, that, and the other. Bringing in top tier managers, you know. But like you said, I'd probably like to see the club go for a few years the same route as like a Dortmund or a Leipzig, where they, you know, mixing a bit of youth with experience. You know, giving that freedom for the youth to come in and do their thing, but creating that positive atmosphere in the club as well at the same time. That sort of positive attitude has to come in, and it needs to sort of, you know, that needs to be embellished onto the players. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, any youngster coming in, like you guys just said, you know, the mood is just, it's all over the place.
Shit.
Well, what are they learning at the moment? They're looking at the first team thinking, what a pile of shit. What am I going to do? How am I going to salvage the situation? But a manager who can come in, that's worked with youngsters and worked with experience, that can develop the players, that can give these youngsters a chance. What have we got to lose? I would take finishing 7th or 8th next season. It means that we're going to develop youth players, play good football, and try and build something for the future. I don't have big expectations.
And that was my point. Merely that was my point, because that's why I mentioned RB Leipzig, Salzburg, Dortmund, because that's what they're doing. They're mixing the youth with some of the established players, and also like, for example, Brighton, they're recruiting younger players as well. So they've got to make. That's why they're like a conveyor belt. When Trossard left, it was like they never missed him straight away, because they were able to bring in a youngster that had been.
Do you know what though? Let me jump on this. A few things, right? Number one, there's no expectation at Brighton. There's so much room for error at that club.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That was my point.
If you're good, if you're a young player, that's the kind of club you want to be at right now, not Tottenham. Secondly, I'm not convinced with the fan base, Has. Like, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. I would happily take finishing 7th or 8th for a few years if it meant we're going to develop a good football team with a good style of play and give these youngsters years to bed in and establish themselves and become the next Saka, the next Martinelli, the next Foden. I'm happy for that. The problem is, unless this club comes out and clearly explains this is what we're looking to do, it will be a disaster. They will turn, they will boo. And I've seen this fan base, and I get so much heat for this. This fan base stinks at times. They will turn on the manager. They always do this. If Nagelsmann signs tomorrow, yay, brilliant. We've got our Tottenham back. We're going in the right direction. Sick. In 18 months, if we're in that process of what you described, which I'm all for, and the board haven't said this is where we're going, Nagelsmann out. Who put this German in charge? And this sums it up for me, right? I just want to quickly say this sums it up for me. This is why I have a lot of respect for Fergie. He won the league with kids in '93. I know football's evolved since then, but can you imagine winning the league with Divine Mundell and Sayers? William, one little issue with this. Fergie, in his first season, finished 11th. He then went to 2nd. He brought in the kids and he went to 11th. Massive drop-off. And that's when Alan Hansen famously said, you can't win nothing with kids. The following year, pow, won their first trophy. And then it was the best reign you've ever seen at any club in this country. And the reason it worked is because when he went from 2nd to 11, he never lost his job. And the board backed him. They said, keep going. At Tottenham, the fans, the chairman, everyone's turning.
I'm surprised,
and that's what drives me mad, man. This is what drives me fucking mad.
I'm surprised you said 18 months, right? I am guaranteeing you, if Nagelsmann was appointed, right, and we were on course to finish 8th next season, they will turn in fucking April.
No, but
like,
wait,
I swear to God.
Coming back to my original point. Hold on. No, but what I said originally was, hear me out. What I said originally was, fans are binary. They're like black and white. But, this is the big but, if you give them attacking football, this is what I'm saying. If you give them attacking football, I'm not saying fans want 1st, 2nd, 3rd, they want 4th, they want trophies. If we're not getting trophies, boo, Nagelsmann. I'm saying if we get a style and an identity and a brand of football and the fans can get behind it, even if we start losing games. But like, at least we're the go, you know what I mean? Or I'm enjoying the game. I'm gonna get my meat and pie and bovril, wherever. As long as the style of football is attacking, because that's all fans want, attacking football, isn't it? If you're playing shit and you're losing, it's too much of a compromise. And that's the only point I was making. And I think with Nagelsmann, if we have an attacking style of football and a style that fans can get behind, then I think we can drop down a bit. We can drop out of Europe a bit, and we can. And it's a very big if. It's a very, very big if. And I hear you lot's points. I do agree with you, because that's how our fans have been in the past. They've been very flip-flop. But I'm just saying, it's just going from Poch, attack.
Ashmatic,
we just went,
let me ask something.
Go
Let me ask something what you just said, right?
Go on.
Just bringing Dietrich quickly. Big up Dietrich. And big up to Steve as well for joining us. Let me ask you one thing, right? Let's say what you're saying stacks up. That if the football is good, because look, Bielsa brought banging football at Leeds, but they were getting pumped. And in the end, that didn't work out. Let's say we get a Bielsa type situation, but not 14th, 15th. We're kind of 8th, 9th, right? Do you not feel that this situation becomes more tolerable if the board come and talk about a plan, a vision, a direction?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Listen, when I'm talking,
is that not key?
No, 100% key. 100% key. I'm not excluding that at all. I honestly think, you know what I really think, Levy can't help himself. He can't help. You saw that picture with him and Man like this. That might be my new meme. Do you know what I'm saying? Why is he there with Man? I thought Man was meant to be the football guy and you're meant to be in the background. Why are you in the picture for, bro? Why are you in Germany with him? Do you understand? He can't help himself. So I'm not being fooled. Like, shame on me. Like, in the past, when Mourinho came and I heard Dybala, I was getting gas Coutinho. I was like, oh my days, are you mad? Coutinho and Dybala. Hey, I got fooled. I got tricked. But not again, my broski. Not again, my broski. It's just a small glimmer of hope. I'm just saying, like, if, then maybe fans can get, and then maybe we could, you know what I'm saying? But it's a very big if. That's all.
Oh, come on. I'm going to have to say something to Dietrich here. Dietrich is rubbing it in there. Listen, it's bad enough we're here talking about Spurs and how bad we are, but to put up the Besiktas badge as well. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
We won last weekend, so...
Besiktas!
Number one. Hold on.
Oh, Steve, you flip-flop. Pick one club, for fuck's sake.
One second. Hold up a minute.
I know you don't.
A Canadian who supports Tottenham saying we won. Nah. An American who supports Newcastle chanting Besiktas. Who do you lot actually support, man? How many teams do you support?
No.
I like Trabzonspor.
You sound like glory hunters, man. Like glory seekers, you lot.
When I was in Turkey, I fell in love with Besiktas, so I'm gonna support Besiktas. That's my team.
Fair enough.
You've never once shown a Besiktas badge ever.
No,
because I'm here. It's because I'm here.
No, because he's here. That's why I put it.
I'm calling it out now, Haz. I'm calling it out.
Wait, I'm going to show him something. Hold on. I'm going to show him
Steve
something.
Steve supports Lazio, Newcastle, America, Besiktas.
No, I don't support Besiktas. I like
Sydney
Trabzonspor.
Sharks, the Beijing Bears.
Wait. Who's sorry? Who's that? Who's top of the league?
Yeah, but look how many 5 points.
Okay.
It's 5 points.
Too many wishy wrongins, innit? Steve, Dietrich, we're talking about Spurs and next manager, director of football, a plan, what we need to do. Will the fans be tolerant? Will the club come out and talk about any plans? Like, as a Newcastle fan, obviously you're on cloud nine. You're going to get Champions League. It's pretty much done.
Oh yeah,
you're flying. You've got a bright future ahead of you. What do you make of the Spurs situation in terms of next season? Do you think it's going to be better, worse, pretty much the same as what we're seeing now?
If it ain't getting better, I'm sorry. And if it is, it's
Both?
Yes. I could see both, absolutely. And they're linked.
With Aston Villa,
Chelsea are going to be worse than you guys. I'll say that.
Unai Emery, he's a top 6 merchant. He's a top 6 Europa Cup merchant. He ain't. I have this argument with Henry Wright all the time because Henry Wright jizzes all over him. And I've said he ain't a top 4 guru. He's not at those levels. For me, he's not.
Still.
Yeah.
Next summer, and remember, Aston Villa's owner is like the second richest owner.
Third.
Third. And be careful this summer. If they make Europa League, they're gonna buy some big
Liverpool
players.
Coming back. Liverpool
are not coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back. Bro, they literally shipped 3 goals to you guys. 3 goals.
Competition for me to see. Listen, I hope so. I'd like to see Villa break the mold. I think it's refreshing, but I don't see it. I think the competition is the toughest it's ever been now. With Newcastle,
no.
I think it's the complete opposite. I think it's weak. Bro. Honestly,
listen,
I'm not.
Champions League.
Why should I be?
Tottenham are 7th, right? Look at the teams above us. We've still got Chelsea below us and Villa. So for
Chelsea
me,
are not going to be doing anything next year.
You don't know that. Everyone's just written.
I don't know that, but it's just a prediction. I don't think, brother. Todd Bowley was in an interview in the States today in some conference, and he said he did. He did. It really sucks when you've done nothing wrong. It humbles you though when you don't do anything wrong and don't succeed. It really humbles you. He genuinely said that. That guy is out of his fucking. He's a loony bin, bro. That club, Chelsea, are not the real deal.
All right, okay. Let's say Chelsea fall off, right? What about City, Arsenal, Newcastle?
City will win the title next year.
Liverpool. That's 6 teams.
City are going to win the league next year.
And Brentford.
Brentford too. They're moving. Yeah,
and Brighton. And Brighton, they just bought a bit.
Steve, just quickly, do you think you win that game against Arsenal this week?
Yeah,
that's my point.
2-0.
I think it's harder. I think
you guys probably need to win that to have an advantage over, because Liverpool are on Liverpool are the most informed team at the moment with Man City on paper.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've got a chance if they win their next 4 games. That's 12 points right there. I think your game against Arsenal, if you win that, you got one step. You got 1 foot in the Champions League. So this is the thing, though. Arsenal's not going to be an easy game for you guys. I'm telling you now.
No, it's going to be easy. No, I disagree. Has.
Even with Newcastle, right? You see, next season, it's going to be interesting because they're going to be playing Champions League football, and they'll be playing Premier League football for the first time.
Yeah, but actually, they're going to be buying players next season.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter because they got to embed into the team. Don't get it twisted. Playing twice a week compared to once a week, as we know as Spurs fans, completely different.
It's a new challenge for Eddie.
They've got the nucleus there at the team at the moment. They've got
I don't doubt that.
The defense, the middle, the spine, and the forward. So they've got an established team at the moment. Okay, so I get what you're saying. They're going to need to bed players in, but it's not like they're bedding players into a brand new team. They'll bed the players in like when they need to. Okay.
For me, this season they've drawn a lot of games, and they were playing once a week, and I think it will be different when they're playing twice a week.
Yeah, I think
it'll be a different conversation this season, Ash.
Huh?
Would you say those players were still bedding in this season?
No, I still think they'll be in the top 6 conversation, but it's just going to be more interesting now that they're going to be playing twice a week. It's another rotation that they're going to have to think about. That's all.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that those players you're talking about bedding in and stuff, but that team that you're saying has drawn so many games, they were still in the bedding in process. By next season, they'll be established though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying they haven't had that many major injuries. Like compared to us, you think about it, we've had centre backs, we've had wing backs, we've had midfielders done. Do you know what I'm saying? They did have Wilson out for a little piece, and I know they had Isaac was out for a little piece.
Isak was a long term. He just
Isaac
showed up. Yeah.
He's literally just been
and he's hit the ground running.
He's making a difference.
By the way,
Newcastle not having Europe was a big help, man. Not having those midweek games.
Oh, of course it was a help. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. Next season we'll be telling. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to drop out, but I'm just saying next season we'll be telling because they'll be playing twice a week.
Yeah, but Ash, you know they're going to spend 250 million this summer and attract every top player.
And we're going to have here's what I think is going to happen with Newcastle this summer. We're going to have one outgoing where you're like, wow, I'm surprised they sold him. It could be an Almiron. It could be a Callum Wilson. It could maybe even be a Fabian Schär.
Yeah.
And then, but we're going to bring in someone where you're like, this is something.
And you guys are linked with Tierney from this weekend.
Can I say something controversial? I think, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. I think Arsenal's going to win.
I can't believe you just asked if you could say something controversial of all the channels you know. Can I say something controversial of Tottenham Away?
Tottenham Away is the home of
controversial
Mr. Box Office saying that Haaland is a juiced up John Carew.
Okay,
I think your opinion's fine.
Let's stop it right there. Now, what I was saying is, I think, and no disrespect, I think Arsenal's going to win on Sunday.
Yeah, I guess. How do you see it happening? Because for me, I
don't want them to.
Well, yeah.
But I think they're well.
As you're making one mistake,
the pressure is off. Arsenal are better when the pressure's off.
Gabriel and Saliba are out. They're both injured.
At the same time, though, our crowd is going to bring the pressure and the intimidation.
If they've got no Gabriel as well, that is pretty.
He's injured.
Dietrich, I don't know about Gabriel.
He got injured last game against.
Okay, all right. Okay, that makes a big difference because then
but you know what? Though the thing is for me, Arsenal have shown this season when they're not expected to do things and when the pressure's off,
they're brilliant.
They're good. Yeah, they're very good. I think Arsenal remind me of Tottenham. When it's fucked, they turn up.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's what they do, right? If you depend on them, like, come on, man, let's make a name for ourselves. It's like apple pie; they crumble. Apple crumble, sorry, not apple pie. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's no good, man. You know what's coming. So I don't think. In fact, do you know what? Let's go into the game this weekend. Let's start off with the Spurs game. What does everyone think about Spurs versus Crystal Palace? What's your prediction? Let's go around.
Palace win.
I'll start with you.
Palace win.
Let
me start with Michael, and then we'll go around.
Yeah,
Michael, what do you reckon?
Listen, Palace have been playing quite a nice brand of football, right? But they still have like a magic factor of issues with conceding goals, right? It's not like they are, short up defensively. It's so bizarre that it's a Hodgson team, right? Hodgson is like the embodiment of 10 men behind the ball, think it out, 0-0, whatever, right? And if you look at their games, they scored like 5 past Leeds, 4 past West Ham. I think they lost to Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves.
I think, right? I don't remember who they drew with. But
Everton,
that doesn't matter, right? I think we can get at them, right? We will score goals against them. Their defense is not good, right? So for me, I think it will, but we also are absolute shite defensively. So I can see a high scoring game again, like something mad, like 3-3 or whatever. But I don't think we'll lose just because of the home ground, whatever, right? Because if you look at it, we are actually not losing that many games like at home. I know Bournemouth recently happened, right? But it was a 2-2 game until a 95th minute, like counter-attack goal that killed us, right? And other than that, I think we lost to Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, and one more at home. So I think we can Villa. Villa at home, right? So I think we can at least get a draw, and I wouldn't be surprised if we actually won, but it won't be like 4-0 or something stupid like that, right? It will be most like a 3-2, 3-3, something like this, in my opinion. I think they will absolutely rip our defense to shreds. But so
What's your
will
prediction,
we.
Michael? Which if you had to predict one result, what would you go for?
3-2. We win 3-2.
3-2.
In my opinion.
Tottenham 3-2. Ashmatic?
Yeah, same for those reasons. Defensively, we're all over the place. But Mason reminds me of like sometimes he plays like a Conte ball. Sometimes he goes into Mourinho phase. Like you saw it with the old Son. Like he was like, Son was all thanking him. Thanks for letting me play like that again. Running, making that little curve run that he does in behind. You know what I'm saying? So I expect if we score early, I think 3-2. Yeah, I can see it. With the crowd as well. Yeah.
3-2 as well. Steve?
Unfortunately for you guys, I think I am gonna go the Palace win. I'm gonna go 2-1. I can't trust you guys. Look, I'm a betting guy. I haven't bet in a while, but I always look at it from that kind of perspective. I can't put money on Spurs to do something for me. I'm sorry.
Mate.
I honestly just looking at like 3-0. You get it to 3-3, and then immediately you collapse. I mean, Palace, they're on the beach and whatever. They're not going to get relegated or get Europe, whatever. But I mean, you guys are on the beach as well. And defensively, actually, Palace haven't been that bad. They conceded 3 to West Ham, sure. The game before that, it was 2, but there was 2 clean sheets there, Everton and I forget the other one, and then it was a 2-1. So it's not like their defense is as bad as yours performance-wise, at least. For me, I'm going 2-1. I think they can hit you on the counter, and I think that they're going to get an early goal. What have you guys been doing lately? Conceding early goals. So what do I think? I'm just going off a pattern because once, twice in a row now. It's like what? No, 3 times. Sorry. Well, Man United. When did they score? What minute?
Yeah,
7.
Yeah. You 3 straight games. You're conceding a goal or 2 goals even in the opening 10 minutes. Palace can get 1 in the opening 20, and then that changes the whole ground. Then you got the Palace away fans who always, generate a good atmosphere. I see that going. And you know what? It's not a great atmosphere at Tottenham from just looking at the outside and chatting with y'all about the protests and all that stuff. I've heard there's been fights with Levy in, Levy out and stuff like that. For me, I think Palace could walk in there and smell blood, to be honest. I'm gonna go 2-1.
All right, 3-2,
Palace.
3-2. 2-1 Palace. So 2 wins for Tottenham, 1 for Palace. Dietrich?
4-2 Palace. The Eric Dyer masterclass. Horbier will go smell the referee's neck, which cologne he's using. That's the only thing he knows how to do. And Kulusevski will just complain like always. So 4-2.
Haas. I don't know what you want to say, man. What can I say? How's what's your prediction?
Still, last time on your show, I predicted 4-2 Liverpool, didn't I?
I think so, yeah.
I was close. No, I think so. I predicted 4-2. So I was close. But look, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think like Steve was saying, I think we more than likely will concede in the first half at least. I don't know whether it will be early or not, but I think we'll be trying to claw our way back in this one as well. It will finish 2-2.
Can you imagine this happening? This comment that was on the screen like a second ago. 90th minute Dyer own goal.
I believe that. Is it actually that crazy?
Pop champagne.
Is it actually that crazy?
Yeah, but
you know what else is going to happen? Here's another prediction I got for tomorrow.
Out.
Just like Bournemouth and just like Liverpool, you're going to have a chance at the end to win it. Palace counter, and they'll go win it.
Michael, in defense of Dyer, the guy just realized that when he makes mistakes, he learns from it, so he does more mistakes.
He's creative.
He's trying to learn some more, so he's making more mistakes.
I'm going I'm going to win to Spurs. I'm saying 3-1. I think we'll beat him, man. I do think we'll beat him. I've got that feeling.
I've got a strong feeling though. I've got a
So?
strong feeling.
So,
Based
I
off of
never
facts
have
and evidence.
I never have any positive strong feelings with Spurs.
Well, a 3-1. A 3-1 is
remember,
positive.
you said the same thing in the
It's
watch
positive,
alongs.
but I'm not strong about it. I'm not, huh?
Deep down,
Ev-
Stell is thinking, nah. I'll
No,
guarantee he's thinking, nah.
Every time on the watch alongs he says, "Oh, I'm confident," it always ends badly. Every time.
Oh wow!
No,
so bet against Bill.
no, hold on. No. I said we'd lose to United, we'd lose to Liverpool. I made a bet with Ryan Isaac. He owes me a chicken 3-piece meal. I said we'll lose to Liverpool. I called it, but I just think that we're scoring goals, man. We're scoring goals, and I just think we'll outscore Palace. That's all.
But we missed
By the
too many
way-
big chances. That's the issue. We missed too many chances.
I think at home we'll do it, man. I think at home we'll do it.
Richarlison missed a header. Dyer missed a header late on. I know it's against better opposition, but that's my big call of tomorrow. My two big calls. If you guys put bets on it, Palace to score in the opening 10. Palace to score in the over the 90th minute. There you go.
What about Newcastle versus Spurs? Sorry, Arsenal. Newcastle. Sorry, man. We know what happened when we went there. We know. But Arsenal, Michael, prediction.
Arsenal against Newcastle. I don't think they will crumble like they did against City, right? That won't happen because of what you boys said.
Yeah,
I think the pressure is already off them. Like they deep down they know that they lost the title already, right? So that's why I think they will put up a fight, but I don't think like Newcastle is a team that you can just say they will beat, right? I think for me it thinks of 2-1 Newcastle, and it will be a hard-fought 2-1, like a really competitive match. I'm not saying the most beautiful one, but a competitive match and Newcastle at the end, right? But quickly, I wanted to say something, right? Because with what Has said about Dyer, right? You boys maybe know that I'm a bit of a Reddit lurker, right? And one guy recently posted on our subreddit, right? And I will read to you the title, right? Okay, fuck it if Napoli can sell some of their best players and win their first Scudetto after 30 years. Why can't we? Sell some Dyer and Højbjerg for 70 million. Buy young talent and let's win the league. That's the state of this fucking fan base. The guy put best players and Højbjerg and Dyer in the same fucking sentence, right?
Wow.
But thankfully he got fucking slated in the comments, right? But still, there are some fans who will say best players and Dyer in the same sentence, right? Like the best the guy said is running off to the toilet in the middle of the match. That's what he's the best at, right?
Or he's going into the stands and trying to punch someone.
Yeah, I've never seen someone take a shit so quickly as he did.
Michael, what was your prediction, by the way? Did you say
2-1 Newcastle. Yeah, I said it.
2-1 Newcastle. Eric Dyer, he is crap, man. He is crap. Ashmatic, what about you?
I'm going for. Oh my ass! Sitting on the fence, bro. 2-2. Yeah, I reckon it's a draw.
I thought he was going to. I thought he was talking about Eric Dyer. I'm like, not this again.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be it's a fence hitter, man. No, I reckon it's going to be 2-2. I think Arsenal will go for it, but I think Newcastle are showing a bit of quality lately. Newcastle are on form. I think Newcastle are real form. Arsenal playing with no pressure, expect goals, and but I just can't call it between the two of them.
Newcastle have won 4, lost 1 in the last 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just think Newcastle just on it, and but Arsenal, like you said, they've got no pressure. They're still going for the title. They've got a little something to fight for. Do you know what I mean? They're still going to believe. So I still think they're going to come at Newcastle as hard as they can. That's why I'm going for a draw, a score draw, in my opinion.
Is it me or
All right,
there's
cool.
a weird noise on the mic?
Yeah, it's coming from either Michael or Ashmatic's mic.
I
Sorry,
ain't got no mic. I ain't got no
It's
mic.
asthmatic. It's asthmatic.
I hear it too,
Amen.
so it's not from me.
It's not for me.
Everyone speak. Everyone just speak quickly.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
speaking.
Arsenal.
It's Ashmatic.
Hello.
It's Ashmatic. I just muted you. It's Ashmatic. I don't know what it is. It happens. So 2-1, 2-2. Steve.
2-0. 2-0, man. These guys are walking into a fucking black and white hell. Look what happened last year. We're better than we were last year. They're a little bit better, but for me, I see us winning 2-0. We've kept 2 straight clean sheets against them. We all know that Bukayo Saka is gonna play, who's completely out of form, and he's been in awful form. Again, not turning up towards the end of the season. I like Saka, and he's not the only one. But Arteta, here's where the game is won. Number 1 in the first 15 minutes, and number 2 past the 55th minute. What has Eddie Howe been doing lately to win games of football lately? Halftime subs and adjustments to win the game. We were 1-0 down to Southampton. Wasn't our best performance. Bring on Callum Wilson, take Anthony Gordon off, and the game completely changes. We had no shots on target against Southampton that first half, and we even conceded to them. Second half, we had 8 or 9 shots, 3 goals. So for me, the in-game adjustments are going to be key. And what has Arteta been doing? He's been having crap substitutions or not choosing the right lineups. And I don't think the players are in the right mental space either. These guys are talking about it's a success that they achieved top 4. What kind of fucking crap is that? Who cares? You're going for a title, and now you're just trying to lower the standards because
they're deflecting. They're just deflecting. They don't
exactly.
Deflecting.
And Eddie Howe's attitude is the exact opposite. He says drawing is a failure. And I will be pissed off if we don't get 3 points on Sunday. We need to show that we are a force to be reckoned with, and we need to keep St. James's Park a fortress. I think we do it. We have all the tools to do so. We really do. We have 2 informed strikers, and if Almiron is on the bench as well, those are 3 guys right there with 10 goals at least. You've got Joe Ellington with 6 or 7 goals as well. He's been unplayable. Same with Guimaraes. We have the best defense in the league. I think Arsenal will keep it competitive, but I see us getting a 2-0.
2-0, Dietrichs.
I'm going 3-1 because Isaac will send Ben White back to Love Island, season 10. So I'm going
Love Island.
Or Wilson, or Callum Wilson. Both of our strikers
Wilson.
are on form.
So yeah, 3-1.
3-1. Haas.
Listen, I'm going 3-2 Arsenal. I just think. Listen, when I've been watching Arsenal games, right, the ones that they've drawn, it's always been really close. And coming towards the end of the game, they really pile the pressure on. Like towards the end, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they're just camped in the opposition half. I just think they've got it in them to get that goal. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's going to be goals in this. Like, 3, 4, 5 goals. I just think Arsenal's going to nick it 3-2. It's a game that could go either way, but I just think Arsenal, with the firepower that they've got up front, Saka's still going to be a threat. Martinelli's always a threat. Jesus is a threat. The way Odegaard's been playing in that midfield as well, honestly, it's going to be a goal fest. But I'm going to go with a 3-2. Sorry, Steve.
No, it's all good. It's an opinion, bro. It's an opinion. It is what it is.
It's just
obviously
how I assess the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it could finish up either way. It could finish up 3-2 to Newcastle. But I just think Arsenal, they know deep down that if they lose this game, it's over for them for sure. Right now, they've got an inkling because Man City's got a couple of dodgy games still. They've got to play Brighton still. Brighton can still have a big say in the title race. They weren't really, for me, City weren't really convincing against Fulham when they played Fulham. and Fulham were meant to be on the beach right now. They're not playing for anything.
But
You
they
know?
had De Bruyne out.
Sorry?
They had De Bruyne and another player
Yeah, they
out.
did. But come on, look at City. Come on, even with De Bruyne out,
No, they need De Bruyne. They don't have any creativity other from.
Hold on.
House is going for a
They're a
win.
one-man team.
I'm saying like if De Bruyne isn't on the team, they're not winning the title. So yeah, in a way, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Fair enough.
because most of the goals of Haaland come from De Bruyne, so that's why I'm saying they're one-man team.
Cool.
I think he's influential. I don't know about one-man team, but he is influential. I'm going for a 2-2 as well. I think it's a draw. I don't think Newcastle will win it, but Arsenal can see goals, so I think 2-2. The last one I want to quickly do, guys, and then last one we'll do, then we're going to wrap it up. West Ham, Man United. The reason I'm bringing this up is Man United are slowly letting Liverpool back into top 4, and I tell you what.
Yeah.
Man United's away record is horrendous.
Yeah.
Is this set up for another dodgy Man United result, or will West Ham have one eye midweek because they're in the Europa Conference League semi-final?
No, I see a draw.
Yeah,
honestly.
draw.
Because you got to think. Yeah, like
Well, hold
you
on,
said,
Steve.
the
Hold
away
on. 1 minute.
point-
Michael's first. Michael's
Yeah.
first.
Oh,
Alright.
sorry.
Ashmatik's back at.
I'm sorry.
Michael Ashmatik.
Is it home or away from you?
West Ham.
So West Ham, bro. Look, West Ham versus Man United. Big tricks. West
You're
Ham
gonna
versus Man United.
continue being disrespectful. I'm gonna slap you on stream. Be careful.
Bro, come on now. You still haven't done your bet. You lost the bet. Where's your Arsenal shirt? You're not a man of your word. You're not a man of your word. Don't come on here acting like a man of your word. Anyway, that's it.
But
Michael, go for it.
West Ham and United. Yeah, listen, that they haven't been good, and I mean it. I think I've heard the stat like last 7 or 8 games away they got 1 point, like something stupid like that. I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham actually got them. If West Ham didn't play in Europe next week, I would definitely go for a West Ham win, right? But I think just because West Ham are playing in Europe and their focus will be the European competition. They play for nothing in the league, right? So in my opinion, they might rest a bit, not like the full rotation, but they might rest the key players. So
can I just say something, Michael? I think West Ham it's a bit of a crossroads at the moment because yes, they're very close in Europe. They've got a chance to win that cup, but also they are still in that relegation fight.
4 points off.
True, they need to stay up. Good point. Good point.
Fight. So what do they prioritize? Do they, it's all well and good winning a trophy, but at the expense of possibly going down? It's a very, very fine line at the moment. What they're going to do?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they aren't going to rotate completely, right? I think 15th or 16th. No, 14th or 15th, something like that.
West
15th,
Ham, 4 points off the drop.
4 points off the drop.
We
will know.
Yeah, with 4 games to go, right?
They've all got 4 games.
Oh, sorry, guys, I didn't mute. Yeah, so quickly, I think it will be a draw, just because West Ham won't. As I said, they won't rotate completely, but I think 2, maybe 3 players from the starting 11 will be rotated, right? It's not like they have a completely shit squad, right? They fucking spent 200 million in the summer, right? They have the players to rotate, right? It's not like they're. Yeah, it's a bit overrated, but it still has some quality in it, right? So it's not like they are, substituting Dyer for Sanchez or something like that, right? There is still some quality there. So it just thinks of a draw for me, 1-1. Yeah, 1-1 for me.
1-1. Ashmaik, West Ham, Man U. One team's fighting for Europe and to stay up, and the other team's trying to stay in the top 4.
Do you, man, really think Man U are going to bottle it? I can't see it. If Man United bottle it, Oh my!
Who
days.
scores goals in there? Who scores goals for them if it ain't Rashford?
No, Rashford's their source. It's the only source, bro. But still, if Man U bottle it, oh my days! Oh, I don't know who's a bigger bottler. That's crazy. Man United have to win. Sorry, that's got to be a United win. That's got to be. They've got to hit Champions League. They can't fall out. I'm sorry. I know West Ham have got they're trying to survive all, but it ain't that game. It's not that game. I'm telling you, not that game. Yeah, they're gonna lose that one, and then they go whatever Europa Conference, get their confidence up, and then the next game they're okay. But this ain't it. West Ham ain't doing no draw. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm sorry. United are coming and taking all 3 points. The score would be. It won't be a massive one. I think maybe 1-0 because they're not really playing too well. So I just say 1-0 for United. That's what I reckon.
1-0 United, Steve?
I'm going for 1-1, I think. 1-1. A few reasons for this. Number one, if you look at Manchester United in the first half of games, they're popping. They look good, but they don't finish enough of their chances. They let their opponent back in the game in the second half far too often. Then you have crap subs like Fred to come on. I mean, for God's sake, in the Spurs game, people were saying he was Spurs' best player. He was passing to Spurs players, bro. He's auditioning. Look, for me, there's also some Coronation Day tax for this. We know West Ham, proper loyalist, and they're going to be drunk as skunks, and they're going to be up for it. West Ham, the London Stadium, they're going to be raucous. It's Coronation. It's, British. They're going to be up for it. They are going to be up for it. Declan Rice, proper Brit, I'm going 1-1, I think. I'll go Jared Bowen, another Brit, to score on Coronation weekend, whatever the hell's going on over there. I'm going to go Coronation tax 1. Man United 1.
I don't know what you just said.
Coronation Day. Isn't that the stupid shit that's going on in the UK over the weekend?
Yeah.
What is coronation tax,
exactly.
man?
Coronation tax. It's called the reason why West Ham will get a point is because the crowd will be up for it because coronation. They're gonna feel extra British, and they got Moise. I don't know, man. I don't know. I smell whatever. It's British. Scotland is British.
Yeah. I know.
Or United Kingdom, whatever you want, bro. I don't know. I see something.
Listen.
I see it 1-1.
You're going with the coronation tax vibes. West Ham win.
I get it.
Coronation.
Dietrich, are you feeling the coronation tax?
I'm gonna no. You know what? I'm gonna go big. I'm saying 2-1 West Ham.
So you are going, yeah.
Because
West Ham.
I think Ten Hag is the most overrated manager in the league. I think
he doesn't have any coronation.
I think Eddie Howe's a better manager.
Definitely.
Boom.
So
Ten Hag's won silver and he's in another cup final as well, though, man.
Yeah, but he won
That's
with
true.
the easiest team in
Newcastle.
Ireland,
Newcastle lost to Ten Hag in the Carabao Cup.
I'm still pissed about that, and I demand a cup next year.
Oh, your manager's better than Ten Hag, but Ten Hag he owned you on that day,
He did.
It's one game. It happens.
Yeah,
we lost
so,
against.
So where's all this Eddie Howe's better than Ten Hag coming from?
Conte lost against Sheffield. Doesn't mean the Sheffield managers are better than Conte.
No, but our players are shit, man. Come on.
But
now.
there you go.
You know our team's dead.
Newcastle isn't ready yet, but the manager I'm saying.
Newcastle got Sven Botman. We've got Eric Dyer.
Botman, what a player!
Yep.
Come on.
By the way, I'm so fucking pissed we didn't go for him when we are linked with him.
He was for 30
Christ
million.
almighty.
What was your score prediction?
2-1 West Ham.
2-1
Coronation.
No, 2-1 West Ham. That's what
West
Haram.
Haram.
Has what are you going for?
I don't know about coronation, man. More like coronation chicken. Listen. Listen, West Ham, they've shipped 9 goals in their last 3 games. Okay, Yeah, don't tell me West Ham's gonna do anything in this game.
Mate, we've shipped 12.
Sorry. Yeah,
We've
but
shipped
it's
12.
different, innit? Look,
No, fuck me. Wow.
I'm going for a 3-1 to United.
Who scores 3 goals for him? That's my only question.
Rashford.
Well,
Rashford,
Rashford, Martial's been getting
Martial?
He's been getting into good.
Martial
Listen,
it's a fucking
Martial's a
blunder.
good player.
Hey, bro, he don't look
Almost-
like a pro footballer anymore. If
Oh,
you look
his
at him
wall.
athletically in that game yesterday, he doesn't turn like he used to. Bro, those injuries are killing him. Honestly, positioning, I get you, but he don't look right. They're gonna bin him if they have any.
If you've got a bet 365 account, go and put a bet on for all my predictions. Trust me.
Might have to get back into gambling this weekend.
Listen, mate. I don't see anything other than a Man United win here. I think West Ham are getting banged up 3-1 as well. I think they're getting slapped.
Do you want to place bets? Place a bet?
Huh?
Yes,
No,
I'm all in this. I believe in the coronation.
No, because you don't honor your bets, Dietrich. You don't honor them. This is the problem. You can't make bets. You don't do your forfeits. But yeah, otherwise I would bet you. I would bet you.
Okay, I'll see you Wednesday.
Well, Fernandez does pop up with goals as well.
Yeah,
I make you a bet. I make you a bet that you're not going to chicken out of. If West Ham win, you have to come on this show, and for the whole show, you have to have a Galatasaray badge.
Who?
Boom.
I can do it right now if you want.
No. If you want to do it now. But that's
no, don't have a Galatasaray and just have a Besiktas.
No, that's the bet. If you lose the bet, you got to come on with a
What the
Galatasaray
fuck am I
badge.
gonna find a Galatasaray in Canada? Where am I gonna find?
Where did you find the Besiktas badge?
Online.
In Istanbul.
He just made the badge, right?
What?
Not that you have to
I
wear a
found it
shirt.
in
The
Istanbul.
badge. The logo, Dietrich. The logo instead of your face.
Oh, the logo. Oh, okay. I thought you meant a kit. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
No, the logo.
Yeah, it's fine. Always.
And you have to put underneath in writing, "I love Galatasaray, Dietrich Kane."
Okay, and if you
Steve.
lose, and if you
what's it
lose,
with Trabzonspor? Why have you got
Huh?
why have you got a Trabzonspor thing shirt?
yeah, they suck.
I like Trabzonspor.
How come?
He supports 20 different teams.
I don't support them. I like them. It's a cool club. Cool club.
They're current champions. They won the
yes,
league
the Super
after
League.
4 years last season.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so if West Ham win, if they win, you have to do something for me.
No, I don't, because you owe me a bet that you haven't fulfilled. So I've got a free pass. You're in the mud.
All right, sounds good.
This is a chance for you to level off your bets. Okay, good.
No.
Done.
Anyways, I'm wearing my shirt Wednesday, so I'm not gonna. So change the bet
What shirt? What shirt you wearing on Wednesday?
on the fan show, the Arsenal one.
You're going to wear the Arsenal shirt on Wednesday?
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm gonna wear it Wednesday.
Okay. I'm not doing any bets until you fulfill that one, and I will be there on Wednesday waiting.
If I do it on Friday, you have to do something for me.
No, only if I lose my bet.
No, yeah, if you lose, if West Ham win.
No, but you need to. No, you need to fulfill. You need to fulfill your Arsenal bet first, which you owed from 6 months ago.
Okay, but add in if I do my bet and if West Ham win, I want to see you with the West Ham jersey on live stream from Henry's
coronation.
father-in-law.
Yeah, no problem. Right, done.
Okay.
Done. You better turn up. You better turn up with that Arsenal shirt.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Right, inshallah.
Okay, you're finished. You're finished. Oh, listen.
Does anyone want to make a bet with me about any of the 3 predictions? Because I'm feeling confident.
Fuck off.
No, always lose.
There's only so many hits I can take if it goes wrong, man. Listen, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. But before we go, just a couple of things to say. First of all, we've got a live watch along tomorrow in Tottenham Away. Come and join us. We'll be there from 2:30 onwards. If you want to come and join us for the watch longs are crazy, by the way. I'm telling you, our watch longs,
especially when I show up.
You can come as well, Steve. We're gonna go nuts. Something always happens, so come and watch and get involved. It's usually good fun, and we do like a post-match show afterwards. Michael, if you want to come, you can jump on as well. Ashmatic, Hass, when are you guys next on? What's going on with the channel?
No, I was going to say tomorrow I might jump on just for a quick minute with Danny Kiriakou.
Yeah, jump on at half time, because what we want to do is we want to have a
half-time.
maximum 4 people for the watch along.
Yeah, we'll
Half-time,
jump on at half time.
Yeah, jump on at half time. Cool.
Yeah, but we'll be using our phones, but we'll jump on. That's no problem. Cool. I'm back on next week, but I think Marlon's back tomorrow for the match reaction against fucking hell, my mind's gone blank now. Against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So he's doing that one tomorrow. What time is he doing that, Ash?
7:30.
7:30. So make sure you get on there. Have a little watch on YouTube. View from the South Stand. Ash, are you on the show tomorrow as well?
Yeah, tomorrow I'll be there, man. So you guys can check me out there.
Yeah, plug yourself, man.
Yeah, man.
Guys, check out Southview Coys. Get over there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on their channel so you know when they go live again. They've got a brilliant channel. Marlon, Hassan, Ashmatic, 3 top guys. Go and show some love to them. Strasbourg, Steve, you can check out him on his channel. He does everything. Steve's just like the European guru of football, man. Check out Steve. Like, subscribe, follow Steve as well.
Big game for Lazio this weekend. Big game.
Bro, if we don't batter AC Milan, there's problems. There's some fucking problems. These goofy pricks. They drew 1-1 with Cremonese on Wednesday. It was like one of the most shit performances I ever seen.
Bro, we fucking went out of Champions League to these bums. Like.
Don't worry, they're winning UCL.
So sorry, Iggy, for calling your team bums, right? But
I'm gonna say AC Milan are full bums.
One last thing before we go. As always, purple and gold until we are sold. The message at the bottom of the screen. Levy out, Enoch out. There's a protest tomorrow. Make sure you're there. Outside the club, opposite the club shop, 11:30 a.m. We will be cracking on. Make sure you go and show support. We want to see scenes like this. We want to see scenes like this that Man United have got. Can we get to that one day, please, man? Please, one day.
We'll stop lying to yourself. It's not gonna happen.
I know, but we've got to try, man. We try. Listen, we promote it. Enoch out, Levy out. Big up to Michael, Ashmatic, Steve, Dietrich, and Has for tonight, guys. Big up, brothers. Hope you guys have a good weekend. What have you got planned?
And enjoy Coronation Weekend, especially you hammers. Go get hammered. Hell yeah.
Listen, big up the coronation tax. Big up the coronation ticket.
Whatever.
And Levy out. We're out of here.
Levy out.
Levy is probably anti-coronation, so he's a dickhead.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.